development. We're having this conversation. This conversation based on a book written by Patrick Lincoln, Five Dysfunctions of a Team. Lion Joanne, I invite you now to introduce our guest speaker for this evening for the conversation to follow.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. Fellow Lions, friends, visitors, all. For starters, our conversations are very informal, and I know that oh Lord, Lincoln, I calling you Lion again.
That's all right.
And I know that he likes, interaction. So feel free at any point to put up your hand and ask something that you would like to ask. Lincoln is a trainer extraordinaire. He is a JC's international trainer, and he is also a trainer of many. And I would let him tell you some of the things that he has been, if the list is so long. So Lincoln, I would let you tell us about yourself, please.
Okay, be careful. Good evening, everybody. And if you have a camera on your laptop, would you please turn on your camera? I'd appreciate that. So we can make some eye contact. And as Joanne said, this is going to be very informal. Feel free to stop me and ask any question at any time. And you can interact in the chat. In fact, the first thing I'd like for you to do in the chat, I mean, it's a Thursday evening, it's 8:08 at night, and you're giving up at least an hour of your life to spend with me. I want to make sure that I deliver something valuable for you in the next hour and 15 minutes or more as we go. So please, in the chat, I'd like for you to write one thing that you would like to get out of our conversation tonight. Take a minute or two, and in the chat, tell us one thing that you would like to get out of our time tonight. Okay. Okay, thank you, Melissa. How can I identify a dysfunction in myself so I can improve to assist? I like the ownership, Melissa. Anybody else? New perspective on the topic. Thank you, Linda. Management of conflicts among team members. Thank you, Eric. And Julian, listening and learning is my mission. So I am listening. And you got both ears working, right? Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Anybody else want to? What are you looking for tonight? Why are you giving up an hour? I'm sure some of you are missing your favorite TV show or time with your family. And thank you for making a dysfunction solution. Yeah. Thank you, Gloria. Anybody else want to add anything? I don't like calling on people, okay? But if you force my hand, what are your expectations? I found out in life, find out what people want and give it to them. Don't assume you know. You know what happens when you assume? Hello? Find out what people want and give it to them. Then it will be according to their wishes, not yours. Here is Abdullah. Long time no see. Anybody else want to add anything? Gain perspective on dysfunction of a team. Usually just say challenge. Thank you, thank you. Who was that? I losing track here. Khadija, did I say your name right?
Yes, Khadija.
Khadija. All right. That's another thing I've learned. Make sure you pronounce people's name correctly, okay? That's the most important thing they have is their name. Yeah. Lisa wants to know, Lisa, a deeper understanding of what causes dysfunction. Okay. We're on track here. Good deal, you people. Anybody else? Innovative ways to be an effective leader. All right. Thank you, Myrtle. If you don't want to type and you want to speak out, go ahead. Tips to minimize generation gap among members. Good one, Ronella. What is really dysfunction? Okay, Gloria. Good question. Camille, tips to motivate teams to want to be stronger. Okay. So far, so good. I think I can answer. I can help you all so far. No surprises yet. Okay. Anybody else have anything to add? Jennifer, I see you lighting up here. How to manage expectations. Yep. How do you know when it's your time to leave the team? You know, once a lion, always a lion. All right. Well, in the essence of time, I think we got enough expectations, and maybe some of you saw yours mentioned, so that's why you're a little shy. But again, I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, and active JC most of my adult life, and by God's divine intervention, I was invited, and I want to say I was invited to join the JC's international staff at the world headquarters in Coral Gables, Florida, and to take up the role of Director of Training and Development. And that happened in 1985. And with a 3-year contract, I got remarried, I had 2 boys, and they didn't want to come back to Trinidad. And, you know, I'm a devoted family man. So I've been there since. I've been all over the world training and motivating leaders. Leadership training is one of my fortes. I'm an author. I wrote a book. Actually, I wrote 2 books. The first one was Verse for the Day. I'm a Christian, a believer. Verse for the Day, which is a daily devotion. I'm actually redoing that, a 2nd edition. The next book is titled With Passion. And I'm encouraging people to stop working and start living, start performing with passion. Everything you do it with passion. Because I'm sure you would agree with me that people who have a passion for what they do would excel at what they do. And is there anybody here tonight who don't want to excel? We all want to excel, don't we? What happens sometimes we let circumstances and other naysayers get in the way. So the book is available on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. I have a couple of copies with me here in Trinidad. If you would like to get a copy, if you'd like to get a digital copy, just send me an email and I'll send it to you. It's in Kindle version also. There's somebody waiting to be admitted, Joe. So yeah, so that in a nutshell, I'm married. My wife's name is Vilma. I'm missing her so much. I've been here 10 days now. I got 5 adult kids. I'm missing them more than they're missing me. They're all adults. And I got 11 grandchildren. Oh my goodness, that's the best part of my life right now, my grandchildren. You know, somebody told me having grandkids is like falling in love all again. Wait until you have your first one and you will agree with me. Yeah. So 5 dysfunctions of a team by Patrick Lencioni. Now, I like this guy's style, and I think no matter where you are in your role in your life today, it will be a good book to pick up. It's a simple read. It's a really fun read. It's a true to life read. I like his style. And I like the fact that he starts with dysfunction. Because if you want to fix a problem, you got to define the problem, right? Right? You got to know what the problem is. And that's why I like that he starts with dysfunction, but he doesn't just mention the dysfunction, he gives us the solutions. And I've added my little sauce, my little curry and my little stew to his presentation and his information. And we're going to share it tonight. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me. All right. Yes, I am. Lions International, Lions of Trinidad and Tobago. We have an international audience tonight. Good. And again, it's based on the book by Patrick Lencioni. So, 5 dysfunctions of a team. The first he's saying is inattention to results. The second is avoidance of accountability. That's not my job, kind of deal. I'm not an officer of the club. Lack of commitment. You know, a lot of people talk, no action, and then fear of conflict and absence of trust. So those are the 5 dysfunctions. Any questions, any thoughts? We're going to look at each one of them in detail now, okay? So team members with an absence of trust, this is how they behave. They conceal their weaknesses and mistakes, mean they put up a kind of facade. They think it's a shame to explain, to share a weakness. But it's people who are wise, and we're going to the solutions, but they conceal their weaknesses and mistakes. I didn't do it. That was not my fault. He did it, she did it. Kind of deal. Then hesitate to ask for help. A lot of people, they perceive asking for help as a sign of weakness. Then you have hesitate to provide constructive feedback. Oh my God, in our world today, people are so willing to provide negative feedback. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. But they can't tell you how to fix it. What a waste. What a waste. And then jump to conclusions. Assume. You know what happens when you assume? Anybody want to tell us? Let's be transparent here, and we are all adults. What happens when we assume? Somebody
Make of you.
You make an ass of you and me.
Out of you and me.
Right. Thank you, Susan. Fail to recognize and tap into one another's skills and experiences. Live in a me world kind of deal. Hold grudges. Have mercy. Hold grudges. Absence of trust. Dread meetings and avoid participating in team events.
Anybody have any other question?
What happened, Abdullah? Hey, welcome, Abdullah. How are you, man?
Hey, my brother, Senator Lincoln Kokoram. How are you?
I'm good. I'm alive and kicking.
Glad to see you. Glad to see you, man. You're looking good. You're looking better than me.
By God's grace, it's not a competition. Every one of us is unique.
Yes.
So good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
I am sorry to be late because I have another Zoom meeting going on right now, another Lions meeting, and you know, I just have this new. I was elected as second vice district governor for our district, so I have all these clubs to visit. You know.
All right, congratulations. So people, they dread meetings, and you mean I have to go kind of deal, and they make all kind of excuses. Somebody have a radio turned on, or would you please turn it off?
Okay, go ahead.
Or mute yourself. They dread meetings and avoid participating in team events. And they make all kind of, I've heard some really strange excuses what people make for not coming to meetings and not coming to events. So I'm going to show you two competitive. A lot of people look at life as a competition. It's not a competition, it's a cohesion. So take a look at this. Are you hearing, Johan?
It's breaking up a bit.
Not getting audio.
The audio is not there.
Audio, okay, hold on. I think I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to share audio. Share sound. Okay, now we're in business.
Some ass a murder, you got some ass.
Okay, thumbs up.
The Mellow come out, slurp, slurp, slurp. Cement makes it party, party. Cement makes it party, party. Who wants a bucket of cement?
So, Eddie, what are some of the mistakes that Eddie made? Anybody?
He assumed.
He
Definitely assumed.
He jumped to conclusions. You're going to your
He jumped to conclusions, yes.
You know, you're going to your own home. I'm sure you have a key for the front door. Why are you going looking at through the window? First mistake. He jumped to conclusions and assumed, and then without getting the facts, he took action. Very reactive. And he must still be in the doghouse. I hope they had good motor car insurance. So trust is the key to any relationship, and teams is a relationship among people. Teams, relationship. So that's the first one, trust. The second is teams that fear conflict, and this is how they behave. Have boring meetings. Nobody wants to speak up because they want to appear as if they're arguing. Engage in personal attacks. I've seen people make people cry in meetings. How embarrassing. Ignore controversial topics that are essential to the team's success. And fail to tap into all the opinions and perspective of team members. All, not just those who speak up. Encourage the quiet ones to speak up. And waste time and energy with posturing and interpersonal risk management. You know, I got an email from a friend today who is running for an office in the JC organization, and the comment was, JC politics is nasty. I said, welcome to my world. You don't have to play the politics. You don't, when you play with puppies, what happens? You get bitten by their fleas, yeah. And then a team that fails to commit creates ambiguity among the team about direction and priorities. They watch windows of opportunity close due to excessive analysis, dotting every I, crossing every T, unnecessary delay, breeds lack of confidence and fear of failure, revisits discussions and decisions again and again, only talking, no action, and encourage second guessing among team members. I thought we talked about that already. Why we have to bring it up again? And this is my little piece here. A team that's waiting for everything to be perfect before doing anything is still waiting. Is still waiting. A team that avoids accountability. creates resentment among team members who have different standards of performance. Encourage mediocrity. Encourage mediocrity. Miss deadlines and key deliveries. Place an undue burden on the team leader as the sole source of discipline. What do you think about that, Susan?
I agree 150%.
Thank you, thank you. A team that is not focused on results stagnates, fails to grow, really defeats competitors. And some people might say, well, in Lions Club, who are our competitors? Every other nonprofit organization is a competitor. Every other they're going after the same sponsors that you're going after. So they're recruiting members that you want to recruit. Just to give some examples. Losers, achievement-oriented employees members. They get tired waiting. Encourages team members to focus on their own careers and individual goals. Selfish people is easily distracted and takes longer to achieve goals. So those are the, you are one person, people, and you, every one of you here is one person, but you are a member of many teams. I'm just going to make a list of some of the teams, but I'm sure you're a member of more than what we're going to see here. So first, those of us who go to church, you're a member, the church is a team. It's not just the pastor. But and if you're a member of the choir, that's another team within the team. So your church, your family is a team. Your Lions Club, and you have Lions International, you have the regional level, you have the local level, and they're all teams within the team. Your workplace where you work, it's a team. Sales, if you're in sales, it's a team. Service, if you're in a service-oriented business, it's a team. Community, where you live, your neighbors, you're a team. And your country, you're a team. Too many, oh my goodness, people just pointing fingers, but you're a member of, you're a citizen of the country, you have roles and responsibilities. And you're not just the politicians. And then the world, we are all members of the whole wide world, and the world has become so easy to connect. Look at us tonight. We have people from Canada, we have people from America, we have people from the islands, and we're having a conversation. Can anybody think about any other team that's not mentioned here that you belong to? You'd like to share with us? Remember to unmute. Anybody? Anybody play a sport? A team sport? No?
Yeah, I was now going to suggest that, like sports clubs. Well, I belong to a dance team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. That's a team. Yep. John, you got somebody to admit.
I just did.
Okay. All right. So we talk about the dysfunctions, the 5 dysfunctions. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the 5 functions. How we fix this. First, trust. Trust. Teammates, high-performing teams trust one another. Trust one another. Then they manage conflict. Conflict exists. Sometimes we even have conflict with our own self. Should I do this? Should I not do that? Why should I do this? When should I do it? And as long as there's more than one person in the room, you're going to have opportunity for conflict, but conflict has to be managed. Then commit accountability and results focus. So those are the 5 functions of the team. And it's the same as the 5 dysfunctions, except now we're looking at the positive side of it. So the first is members of trusting teams. This is how they perform. They admit weaknesses and mistakes. You know, when you try to take on something that you're not good at, what happens? You feel as a failure and you get discouraged. But if you know you're not good at it, ask for help. And when you make a mistake, learn from the mistakes that you make. Ask for help when needed. It's a wise person to know when to ask for help. Accept questions and input about their areas of responsibility. You are accountable to the other members. They're going to want to know. They want to update on how you're doing. What's the progress we're making? Give one another the benefit of the doubt before arriving at a negative conclusion. And take risk in offering feedback and assistance. You know, in my career as a member of the JCs, the people who point out the errors that I'm making have done more for me than those who complimented me on the good things I'm doing. Can you see the value of that, people? Did I lose you all?
Yes, we
No,
can.
we are here.
Okay.
And in
You have
agreement.
a hand raised line. Melissa has a hand raised line.
Go ahead, Melissa, speak up.
Lion, calling him Lion now.
That's
Mr.
all right.
Kovaram, some of these things you're coming. This is like to get these things or to bring out these things. You're talking. This is in-depth behavioral changes we have to make within ourselves.
Of course, it starts with you.
Okay, then.
It
All
starts
right.
with you. You know, that is so true, Melissa. And then appreciate and tap into one another's skills and experiences. Appreciate and tap in. Know your team members. Who is a forward? Who is a defender? Who can throw the ball? Who can catch the ball? And put them in the right spot. Focus time and energy on important issues, not politics. Leave the politics to the politicians, please. We don't gain anything. Offer and accept apologies without hesitation. And you know, my mentor taught me a genuine and sincere way to apologize. It's easy to say, I'm sorry, and you don't really mean it. Have anybody ever done that to you? And you know by the tone of their voice, by the facial expression, they're just saying it, but they're not really sorry. He said, when you say, I'm sorry, but you got to add another question. Will you forgive me? Can you see how that's more sincere and more honest than just saying, I'm sorry?
Yes.
Give me a thumbs up. Well, you all kind of no camera. I haven't seen Susan. I am sorry. Would you forgive me? It brings out a certain level of sincerity and honesty.
May I interject?
Yes, of course.
So I'm hearing all of this, and it brings us back to that one important aspect called communication. How do we communicate? Whether you want to communicate dysfunctions in a team or team members, and how do you communicate the flip side of that? Because as you've been saying, your last point is to offer and accept apologies without hesitation, and it could come across as something that is, it's not genuine. So, I feel communication is plays a very important part here.
Well, you're so right.
Conversation.
I coach social and emotional intelligence, and in relationship management, the number one competence is communication. And you might want to write this down if you're taking notes. 70% of communication is nonverbal. Is your body saying, reflecting what you're saying? Because people look at your body, your eyes, facial expression. And that will, you will either compliment what you're saying or negate what you're saying. So good point. Look forward to meetings and team events. I mean, we all have a calendar, don't we? And we know we have a regular meet. Don't we have a regular meeting on a certain day every month? Susan? Yeah, it's supposed to be on your calendar. And if you're committed to this organization, you know, you set aside that day for no meetings, no other event. I'm going to my Lions meeting. So let me admit.
Could you repeat that? Could you repeat that? Could you repeat that, please?
We all have a calendar. Look, this is a tool, it's not a toy. Hello? You've got a calendar on it. You can set reminders on this, and you can set an alarm on this. Use it.
Here is my calendar. Here is my calendar, Lincoln.
Okay, thank you, Abdullah. Yeah. So look forward to meetings. You see, if you care about the team members, if you trust them, if you like them, you want to interact with them. And you want to look forward to meeting with them. That's team members, team membership. Trust them. Teams that engage, now notice, engage in conflict. Now there is negative conflict and there is positive conflict. Negative conflict is just argument. And people hold their ground and they don't even want to listen to what the other person is saying. They don't even want to consider the pros and cons of what the other people is saying. That's negative conflict, but there's positive conflict. What they do is they have lively, interesting meetings. They extract and exploit the ideas of all team members. Those of us who've been in leadership role know that there are people who want to monopolize your meeting. And they're speaking all the time and even interrupting you and the other members. As a leader, as the person who is managing the meeting, you need to encourage the quiet ones to speak up. They might have a better solution. They solve real problems quickly, not make up problems, but real problems. They minimize politics. I mean, you're going to have some politics, but minimize it. They put critical topics on the table for discussion. They don't camouflage it. Put it on the table. Oh, I love this one. Disagree without being disagreeable. Disagree without, that's positive conflict. And they debate, they don't argue. Can you see the difference between debating and arguing? People?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. So a team that commits, you know, the most intimate relationship is husband and wife, a steady boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. That's a commitment. And those of us who are married, we know we stood up in a church and we said, for better or for worse, till death do us part. That's a commitment. Well, we don't expect that level of commitment in the Lions Club or at work, but it's still, we need a level of commitment for it to work. So it creates clarity around direction and priorities. What's our goal? What's our main goal? What's important? How are we going to get there? And aligns the entire team around common objectives. All for one, finish the statement for me. All for one, one for? All, yeah. And developed an ability to learn from mistakes. You know, when I was in sales management, this is how I used to deal with people who are always complaining. I will say, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Have you thought of any possible solution? And 9 out of 10 times they will say no, because they expect me as the manager, as the leader, to have the solution. But my role is to empower them to think solution. So I will say, all right, Susan, thank you again for bringing that to my attention. But would you kindly go back to your cube and think about at least 2 solutions? And when you have those 2 possible solutions, come back and let's talk about it. So after you do that exercise with them 2 or 3 times, the next time they have something that they come in with the solution. People form habits and habits form people. And then leaders get what they accept. Parents get what they accept. Managers get what they accept. So develops an ability to learn from mistakes. Takes advantage of opportunities before competitors do. First to market. Get there first. Moves forward without hesitation. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with
one step.
The first step. Changes direction without hesitation. People, we are living in a world of change. I mean, who knew that this pandemonium would happen 2 years ago? And look at the change. Some good, some bad. But people had to adapt and change. We have more virtual meetings now than we had before, which is, I love it. I love it. I don't really enjoy traveling in a plane after so many years of doing it and going through TSA and baggage claim and all of this. No. So I only do that now when I have no choice. Changes direction without hesitation. Keep their promises. Keep their promises. How do you feel when somebody promises you, yeah, I'm going to be there, and then they don't show up and they don't even call you or text you to say, hey, I said I was coming, but something came up and I'm sorry I can't make it. Keep the promises. Never give up. Never give up. Wayne Gretzky, actually, Never Give Up is chapter 7 of my book, With Passion. Never give up. Wayne Gretzky said, you only miss 100% of the shots you do not take. You only miss 100% of the shots you do not take. Don't give up. People give up too easy nowadays. They give up too easy. I mean, the divorce rate in America right now is 40%. That's 4 out of every 10 marriages, and that's what they're counting. So, because people give up, I'm out of here. This is no longer for me, without finding a way to make it happen. Never give up. That's a high level of commitment. Any questions? Any thoughts?
Lincoln?
Yes.
Joanne here.
Yes, Joe.
One thing I heard you say couple minutes ago was the fact that in Lionism we do expect that level of commitment. Did you say that?
No, I didn't. I expect.
Marriages you expect so,
I'm talking about the level of commitment between a husband and a wife.
That's the only place that you expect.
Level of commitment. I was just using it as a reference.
Well, I would use it in Lionism as well, because we have so many people depending on us, and when we commit as lions, we commit. Yes, we have our lives living, but if you are in a club and you said to the president, Madam President, I am going to do this, 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 and as you said, you don't show up, you don't do it, you don't call. It is not just the lions being affected, it's the person that you, or persons that you are going to support or going to provide with some need, that will also suffer. And I think that in a lot of us in Lionism in particular, and I'm talking about Lionism because this is where we are, we don't take that commitment seriously. Yes, we have volunteered, but when you volunteered to commit to certain things. It might be a project today, it might be an administrative something tomorrow, but you volunteered, yes, it is a voluntary organization, but commitment is key. So I just wanted to say that.
No, that's true, but keep your promises. That's the level of commitment. Keep your promises. And you see, when you swear, when you get sworn in, inducted as a member, you're no longer Joanne Ferguson. You're no longer Susan Blank. You're no longer Cara Raghunan. You're now Lion. That's your brand. That's your banner. That's your flag. Wave it and represent it well. So a team that holds one another accountable ensures that poor performers feel pressure to improve. Again, we get what we accept. So if there are people who are not showing up at meetings and we don't tell them anything about it, we don't, hey, I missed you at the meeting. Again, it's how you say it. But after 3 meetings, they miss it. You know, you promise, remind them of their promises that you would participate and be active in this organization. Identifies potential problems. Hey, Susan.
I just bring a point of observation to the last point that you mentioned.
Yes.
And this area has become very ticklish, I find, within modern times. I don't know if it's the new trend of thought of persons, but what I've been observing, not only in Lionism, but in my workplace as well.
Yep.
Once someone holds someone else accountable, particularly a manager to an employee, what I'm observing is the trend is for the person who's being corrected to suddenly leave. They leave the organization, they leave the position, they leave, they just, so instead of having what someone mentioned before, some communication, this person is definitely at fault. There's no doubt about it. They've been corrected or it has been brought to their attention. And the automatic response then is to vacate. Bye, I'm moving on. So I don't know if anybody else is experiencing.
Well, you see, the thing about it, Susan, is how the communication is delivered. Have you heard of the feedback sandwich? The feedback sandwich is you start with something positive. Look for something positive to say. Then you do the constructive feedback. This is the mistake you're making. This is what you're not doing. And then you end with something positive. Feedback sandwich. Because you want to leave them on a positive note. And that's why some people, and then the tone of voice that you use is so important. Pointing fingers and screaming at people is abusive. You know, providing feedback is not abusive, it's supposed to be constructive. And to encourage taking corrective action, for them to correct them. You know, a lot of time people don't even know that they're underperforming. They're not even aware of it until somebody let them know. And then as a leader, sometimes it's better to delegate that responsibility to a peer. Peer-to-peer pressure, I found out, is so much more effective than top-down pressure. Can you see that, people? Yes? No? Hello?
We are here.
Okay.
You're perfectly correct.
Thank you, Justin. Julian, identify potential problems quickly. You know, we tend to put things under the rug. On one another.
Thank you.
Yep. And then establishes respect among team members who are held to the same high standards. Avoids excessive bureaucracy around performance. Oh my goodness. I've seen too many people, they put up too much barriers to performance instead of enabling their people to perform. I've adopted a philosophy in life now, you know, I will do what I know is the right thing to do and then ask for permission after, if I need permission. Yeah. As long as I know I'm doing the right thing. Yep. Practices, I made up this word, I-countability. I count in this world. I count in this organization. I count in this family. I got to live up to my accountability. I must be accountability. I actually taught a workshop on this topic before. A team that focuses on collective results, share the results. retains achievement-oriented employees and members. When everybody is celebrating and everybody is getting recognized for what we do, hello, a team is a we thing, not a me or an I thing. Minimizes individualistic behavior. Enjoys success and suffers failure. When the team hurts, everybody hurts. When the team wins, everybody celebrates. Benefits from individuals who subjugate their own goals, interests for the good of the team. All for one, all for all. In the Bible, it said, what love that a man will lay down his life for his friend. Doesn't mean that you have to kill yourself for your friend, but what's our life? Our life is what we do with the time we have. And we might have an event happening in our world, and then we get a call from the president or a vice, hey, I need your help on this thing. So you set your agenda aside and go help. That's subjugating your own goals and interests for the good of the team. Avoids distraction. Oh man, there's so much stuff going on in the world today that is distracting us. Celebrate, we don't celebrate enough. We're waiting for something big to happen. You're not going to win the lottery. Before you celebrate, celebrate the little things. Applaud one another, even your own self. I did a Dale Carnegie course, and he said, one of the lessons we learn is take your right hand and tap yourself on the shoulder. You did well today. You did well today. Celebrate more. You see, it takes teamwork to get anything done. Now, the ant is one of the tiniest animals. One ant would not be able to lift that log, would it?
Nope.
But a group of them, and no, some of them, they're not lifting, but they're cheering them on, they're pointing them in the right direction, they're playing their role. They're playing their role. And those who are carrying it now complain and say, hey, come help us. Because they know they need direction. They need eyes looking on. So they acknowledge and respect one another and they get things done. Take a look at this.
Whoa. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Shadow, 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 shadow. Oh, shadow, shadow, shadow. What? There's a huge cat.
Balderdash, you're smelling things. Now stop scaring the fish.
But it was there. I didn't just smell it. There it is again. Shadow, shadow, shadow.
Young dog, just run!
I'm such a wimp. I'm running from a cat.
I won't tell if you won't.
Of course, this isn't your ordinary house cat. I mean, this is like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Listen, if I don't make it, well, I got a pile of bones buried in the backyard.
We'll make it.
And, I knew it. We're trapped. We're goners. Oh, look, the bones are buried next to the jungle gym, and, the TV remote control is under the seesaw.
Seesaw? Seesaw? Chance, you're a genius.
I am not. What's a genius?
Never mind. This is gonna take teamwork.
Sure hope this works.
Get ready, Chance. Here he comes. He's right behind me. Wait for my signal, okay? And get down. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Come on, come on. Get ready, Chance.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Not yet. Almost. Now.
Hey, cut it out.
Chance, now!
Hasta la vista, kitty! Yes!
Yeah, we did it!
Whoa, a couple of geniuses, right, Shadow? Yes! Look at that! Hey, hey! Dogs rule and cats drool! Whoa!
What did you learn from that clip about teamwork? Unmute yourself and share. What did you get out of that? Based on what we've shared so far, what did you see that kind of demonstrates some of the points we made so far?
It incorporated one of your main focus areas of trust.
Trust, yeah.
So though you didn't fully understand the plan, you had to trust him.
Yeah.
To know it would work.
Thank you, Susan. Anybody else? Did you get anything else?
Well, they celebrated after they achieved their goal.
Yeah. Celebration. What else?
What I observe is that there was doubt. So there was doubt as to whether this would work, and there was self-defeat talking. But the other door was able to say, no, come on, it would work.
Yep.
Let's go, we can do it, So there was encouragement.
Encouraging one another. Yep. I noticed the leader, Shadow, had to be stern when he needed to be stern.
Yes, I like that, yes.
Yeah. Had to be stern when he needed to be stern. He put himself at risk for the sake of the team. Now, in reality, we don't have to do that, take that kind of high-level risk, but there's some risk involved. And that's where trust comes to play, that people would respond and do and play their role. Good job. So, any thoughts,
Mr.
questions?
Kokoram, I think initially the brown one, what is the brown one name?
Shadow is Shadow,
He
and
Shadow didn't see the problem initially.
Exactly.
He was concerned about getting the fish. He didn't see the problem.
Right. He didn't see the main problem. He didn't see the big problem. He was looking at the hungry problem. He was hungry. He needed to feed himself. Yep. Good job. Thank you, Melissa. So let's move on. So what keeps us together? What are some of the things that keeps a team together? Any thoughts about that?
Shared vision.
Shared vision. Are you taking notes, people? That's one, good one. Shared vision. What else?
A good leader.
A leader. Yep, a good leader. Not a manager, not a good leader. Big difference. What else?
Commitment.
Commitment. Yeah, they committed. Yeah, what else?
Good communication.
Staying on track.
Staying on track. Yep. Anything else? What keeps a team together, a high-performing team?
Trust.
Trust. Thank you.
Respect for each other.
Respect for one another. Yep. Conrad, thank you.
Working together to complete a common goal.
Yeah, thank you, Julian.
The ability to manage conflict.
Ability to manage conflict. Yep.
A sense of belonging.
A sense of belonging. Anything else?
Good communication.
Good communication. Thank you. Anything else, people? I'm looking for some other key factors that I haven't heard yet.
Effective listening skills.
Effectively, I know I teach a listening class, and I'm going to give you my 5-second version of the class. Look how the Lord designed us: 2 ears, 1 mouth, which is a subtle indication that we should listen twice as much as we speak. Listen is the most used communication skill, but it's the least taught. Listen, effective communication, listen. Thank you. What, anything else?
Accountability.
Accountability to self and to others. Yes.
But I think mutual respect.
Mutual respect. Yep. Mutual respect. Thank you, Yvonne. Anything else? Let me ask you a question. Do you know when Joanne called me and asked me to do this, I did not hesitate to say yes? Why?
Relationship.
Our relationship. I care about that girl. I love that girl like a daughter. I've known her for many years. I'll do anything for her. Love for one another. Caring about one another. Looking out for one another. Supporting one another. These are the things that keep a team, a high-performing team together. You know, team together, everyone achieves more. When we work together, everyone achieves more. You know, a team, a high-performing team is like a box of crayons. And here I have a box of crayons in my hand. Think about it. If each one working alone, 1 crayon, this is a red crayon, everything is a red, right? So you're working together. When they work together and blending with each other, they produce a lovely picture with the help of the artist, the leader. Look at that. 1 crayon couldn't do that. But a team of crayons working together. This is the result that's achieved when we work together. When everyone is a different color, different skills, different talents. But when we put it together, and that's the role of the leader, and put the right people in the right spot, look at the results. We have miracles happen, and we even exceed our own expectations. Can you see that, friends?
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Amen. Teamwork and collaboration. And you believe when I show people this, our coat of arms all over the world, I know they see Trinidad and Tobago. Together we aspire, together we achieve. We need to remind a lot of the people in our island that this is our motto. Together we aspire, together we achieve. When we don't aspire together, we don't achieve. Working with others to achieve goals, creating synergy in the pursuit of collective goals. Synergy. Team, I've seen in the sporting arena, mediocre teams beat high professional teams because they operate as a team together instead of a group of high-performing individuals. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So, let me stop sharing. Go back to were your expectations met tonight? Were they exceeded? Are you glad that you stayed? Now your turn. Yes, Linda, unmute. Oh, I see a thumbs up. Thank you, Linda. Feedback, Q&A.
Lincoln, you know my feedback.
Yeah, well, of course. You biased. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Sharon,
okay, go ahead, Sharon. You go ahead.
Okay, no, I was just going to say, sometimes these are some attributes or these are some points we know, but it's always a good refresher. It's always good to remind ourselves of some of the things that we should be doing because it's so easy sometimes to blame, to point fingers, to not listen, to take offense, but this is why we do these courses ongoingly. So to keep reminding ourselves and look into and reflect on our own personality. you know, and see where we could improve. Because I think for me as an individual, I feel there's always room for improvement. So I enjoyed this presentation tonight, and I still continue to learn. You know, even though, you know, I may have met these things before, I still continue to learn something new. All right, thank you. And I love
Thank
the
you.
video presentations.
Yep, they were specially selected just for you. Any other comments, feedback?
Everything seems so simple, but was very effective.
Yep, I love the KISS formula. Keep it sweet, short and sweet. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I
Anybody
really
else?
appreciated this meeting, and as one person said before, it's important to have refreshers, and this would serve as a refresher. In addition to which, it could also serve as a starter, because many teams are formed and, you know, they just put together and said, okay, you're working towards so and so. But then again, the members of the team may not know exactly how to go about being a team. And every so often, this could serve, as I said, as a starter, and also every now and again for the team members to assess themselves and others when it comes to teamwork.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Lincoln.
Yes. Yes,
I
Julian.
just want to say, yes, I just want to say that it was very refreshing listening to your presentation. I've heard several types of presentations similar. Now, first of all, the person that is making this presentation, it's unique in the sense that most of the things you spoke about, I've heard them, I practiced some of them, but I was delighted in the way you put it forward. You put it forward so that the little guy can understand and the big guy can understand. Because most of the things you mentioned, almost 99 point whatever percent, is true, accurate, and if practiced, most of us will be better in our endeavors, in Lions, in Rotary, wherever. So thank you very much for the performance.
Thank you, Julian. You know, repetition is the most effective form of learning. All of us here tonight are over 30 years old. 20, some of us maybe still in their 20s. But at what age did we learn the alphabet? Some of us are 3. Have we forgotten it? And if I ask you what the 5th letter of the alphabet, what is the 5th letter of the alphabet? E. E. You didn't have to think about it. And why? Because we repeated it so many times, it has become internalized in us. It's a part of us. Repetition is the most effective form of learning. And I can't remember who said, you know, there are 3 basic learning techniques. One, we learn that we are doing the right thing, that we need to continue doing the right thing. That's affirmation. And affirmation inspires us to continue what we're doing. The next technique of learning is we learn that, oh my God, I'm messing up in this area. I need to stop doing this. And then if I learn 1 or 2 new items, I need to start doing that. Or I used to do that, I need to start back doing it. Simple. And learning is an ongoing process. I never forget my father told me this when I was about 28, 29, talk about timing. He was in his last years suffering with cancer. And my job was to my role was to take him to get therapy treatment every Wednesday in Port of Spain. I lived in Chaguanas at the time, central Trinidad. And so we had to cross the Caroni River. On this particular morning, I'm crossing the river and the car is quiet. I glanced down and the water was black and it was even smelling. My car didn't have air conditioning in those days. I had a VW Beetle. I love that car. I should have kept it. Anyway, and I said, Papa, look at the water. It's black. It's smelling. And my father told me something that day I'll never forget. And I originally thought he was the one who made it up, but I found out later on it was a Leonardo da Vinci quote. And he said, son, stagnant water soon loses its purity and in cold weather becomes frozen. So too inactivity of the mind saps, inactivity of the mind freezes the body. Keep your mind active, and that's one of the benefits, the subliminal, unmentioned benefits of being in an organization like this. Keep your mind active. Most of your friends and family, you know what they're doing now? They're watching TV, and they're not getting any benefit out of it. And you are here tonight, and I hope you got something. But I'm not done yet. I want to share another in closing. Let me go back to my screen here. Oh, okay. So I want to close with this poem. Organizations and clubs and don't fall apart because of the organization. Falls apart because of the member. The members, not the organization, the members. The title of this poem is Someone Else. And if you like a copy, you can get my email from Joanne. Just send me an email and say, hey, Lincoln, I like that poem. Would you send me a copy? I'll send it to you. The author is unknown. And our club was saddened to learn this week of the death of one of our most valued members, someone else. Someone passing creates a vacancy that will be difficult to fill. Else has been with us for many years. And for every one of those years, someone did far more than a normal person's share of the work. Whenever there was a job to do, a class to teach, or a meeting to attend, one name was on everyone's list. Let someone else do it. Whenever leadership was mentioned, this wonderful person was looked to for inspiration as well as results. Someone else can work with that group. It was common knowledge that someone else was among the most liberal givers in our organization. Whenever there was a financial need, everyone just assumed someone else would make up the difference. Someone else was a wonderful person, sometimes appearing superhuman. With the truth known, everyone expected too much of someone else. Now, someone else is gone. We wonder, what are we going to do? Someone else left a wonderful example to follow. But who is going to follow? Who is going to follow it? Who is going to do the things someone else did? When you are asked to help this year, or tomorrow, or the day after, remember, we can't depend on someone else anymore. Thank you.
Fantastic poem.
Yep, and as I said, if you like a copy, send it to me, send me an email, and I'll send it to you. And then I'll send Joanna a link to the recording so that she can share with anybody who wants a link.
Yasmin also hand up, Lincoln. Yasmin.
Yeah. Okay,
Go ahead, Yasmin.
Hello?
Good night. No, I don't have my hands up. Good night, everyone. My hands are up. I give you an applaud.
Oh.
Thank you, Yasmin.
So how did you say we will get the link? To get the copy of the recording, we have to request it.
No, I'll send it to Joanne, and she will have it, and you can go, or you can go to my YouTube channel and you'll see it there.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Lincoln, I am here thinking of my dysfunctions, huh?
It can be corrected.
It can be, it can turn into conversion.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I am one of those persons who, as soon as a light goes off in my head, I move. And sometimes I don't wait to even tag somebody along. It's after the fact that I was able to wait now. I could ask this one, I could ask. But that's one of my dysfunctions. I don't like to hesitate once that bulb goes off. I move. So I have to work on that.
Okay.
I have to put my team instructions and guidelines and rules in order.
Those of you who would like to, or let me write liontbo@gmail.com. All right, Lion Tebow, I got your email. I will send you a copy of the. But I would really prefer if you send me an email as I could quickly respond. My email, if you want to write it down, is lincoln@hisbusinesspartners.com. I'm putting it in the chat.
Can you repeat it, Lincoln?
I'm putting it in the chat. Okay, it's in the chat.
Great.
Oh, I sent it only to Tori. Tori, can you share it with everybody? Any other thoughts, questions, closing comments? Jennifer? Oh, okay.
No, yes, I am from Success Lab until I wanted to ask you if you if like we do teamwork and we know the stages of teamwork is like forming and storming and norming and performing, and if we recognize that in our club there's a stage of storming, and we would like you to invite you to our club to talk or to share for the whole club in our general meeting, how do we go about getting you? Is that possible?
Well, I'm leaving town on the 17th of October. And I can attend your meeting virtually, of course.
Okay.
That can be arranged. Just send me an email, let me know the date and the time. I can tell you, I know I have a commitment every Wednesday night. I teach a Bible study every Wednesday night. That's a commitment, and I don't like to reschedule that at all. But every other night I'm pretty flexible, and as long as I get enough notice, I can schedule it and attend your meeting virtually. If you're having a meeting before the 17th, we can make it happen.
17th of October?
Yeah, this month, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
Yep. Any other questions, thoughts, feedback? All right, Susan, I think people are ready to go to bed.
Let me just say on behalf of the club, thank you to all of you who took the time out to share this session with us. We do these sessions every other month. And in this case, this is our second one that we are doing because we try to accommodate Lincoln's presence in TnT. So feel free, Lincoln is one of those persons you can call on at any time, and he's always willing to assist. I know he says that is because I'm special, but he does it all the time. So he will, I am sure. And his range is very wide. So don't be too shy to ask for something because you think he might not do that. But he has a very wide range of topics and sessions and so that he teaches. So feel free to call on him. To those who came from far, the Canadians, St. Lucia, Barbados. I see Lion Eleanor is here. And those who I have not seen in a long time, thank you for coming to the session, and we will continue to invite you all. Lincoln, it's always a pleasure having you, and we look forward to having you visit us again face to face one day soon.
Amen.
It could not happen this month, but we look forward to that. So thank you very much all, and I now pass back to Lion Suzanne.
Well, Lion Joanna, I think you said all of what I was going to say, so there's not much left. But I really do want to reiterate very shortly what Lion Joanne said to all of you who came on. It really was a pleasure, and it really does show your level of commitment to Lionism. It shows that you were interested in the topic and that you do wish to see improvements in your own club. So we do hope you take the information that you've gathered here tonight and pass it on. As Lincoln would have said, hold each other accountable, communicate, and share positively. And to you, Mr. Kukaram, thank you very much.
You're very welcome
Presentation.
anytime.
We really
I have a heart for nonprofit organizations. I've spoken at Rotary clubs, I've spoken at Kiwanis, I've spoken at Lions Club. Whenever they, I'm a volunteer. At heart, I actually wrote a poem about a volunteer. So, yeah.
Can you share that poem with us as well?
I can do that, Susan. Send me an email and I'll send it to you.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. We need more volunteers in our world today.
Okay,
well, have a good night. Have a good night, and thank you again for this opportunity, and thanks for showing up and for participating and for sharing your ideas and for making it such an interesting, making my job easier, and for being the wind in my sails. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you. And you can leave the platform now.
Good night, Abdullah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Pleasant night, everyone.
Thank you.
Senator Lincoln Kukuram, good night, sir.
3, 2, 1.
Yes. Good night. Good night. Good